Oh boy, it's rapid. Well, hello everybody and welcome to another edition of Wolfie's Wheels. This one's a bit of a fleet update and we talk a bit about Raymond the 2CV, the new Kingham motorhome camper, ASBO the Abarth and the new fleet edition, which I'm actually sitting in now in beautiful southwest Scotland on the Isle of Whithorn, where we have been away for a few days, but of course we'll be home by the time this video is released. Where should we start? I suppose let's start with Raymond the 2CV, who was really the first car I had that I thought I might be interested in doing some filming about. Raymond the 2CV I've had now for almost 1 year. I actually picked him up on the 27th of May 2020 and is just about a year. I think today's the 20, let's have a look, does it tell me anywhere? No, it probably doesn't. It's about 24th of May 2021. I've had a great year with Raymond. I've done a fair bit of filming, but of course the lockdown did rather spoil things. However, it was a really good time. One of the things I have had to do with Raymond, of course, having had him almost a year, is have him MOT'd. And I'm really pleased to report that I did get a full clean pass from a local garage fairly near to me. But the guy there knows 2CVs and so was quite au fait with the amount of play you're likely to see in things like the kingpins and other sort of foibles, like, you know, the lack of high beam warning light, which obviously is not fitted, but some places think is an MOT failure because there's no way of telling. What I did do on Raymond before his MOT, however, was put some new wheels on him. I had good tyres. The tyres on it are the Michelin 125s, and I did notice on some previous MOTs that 1 year it had failed, or not failed, it had got an advisory due to a dented wheel rim. So I don't think the wheels were actually replaced. I think they were just sort of made a bit better. But I had the opportunity of getting some new wheels, so I got some new wheels from Mahari and had them fitted, I had them fitted because the tyres were taken off of the old wheels and put onto the new ones. But you'd have seen, while I've been talking, some pictures of that process. But as I say, Raymond's doing really well. Can't wait to get back out in him. Hopefully get on some 2CV drive outs during the course of the next few months. The Kingham motorhome that we picked up fairly recently, we've been away in that with the dogs for a few days down to Sandringham, Caravan and Camping Club site at Sandringham, and that was really good fun. The dogs seemed to love it. We thought they probably would. The previous dogs we had, which were also greyhounds, used to love it in the previous motorhomes, so we saw no reason why they wouldn't like this. And I will be doing a full review of the Kingham, both as a motorhome and as something to drive in the next few weeks. We'll be going away in it again, down to Stratford on Avon, and that's sort of about that sort of time is probably where I might do some of the filming, but that's not till next month. ASBO the Abarth has now got 1,500 miles on him, which is quite a lot for me. He is doing great service. Absolutely love that little car. So much fun. You know, 180 brake horsepower in a Fiat 500 is insane. It really is. But yeah, it brings out the inner child in me. Not a lot more to say on ASBO. I'll be going to some Fiat and Abarth based events later this year, so I might well do some filming there. And that brings us then on to what I'm sat in now doing the filming, and that is in fact a long range Tesla Model 3, which we've had for literally 1 week. There's loads of videos on Teslas on the internet, and people seem to sort of have a fairly polarized opinion. You know, great fans of them or absolute haters. And I think haters are going to hate and fans are going to be fans. I've had a wide variety of cars, as you know, over the years, and it's a very good car. The fit and finish isn't really commensurate with the price point, but it's perfectly acceptable. There is nothing wrong with it. I'm going to actually do probably a bit more of a video on the Tesla later on. So here we are, just driving the Model 3 long range along the roads around the Isle of Whithorn. We're going to have a brief look around the outside of the car in a bit. I don't really want to do this as a full review of the Tesla. We've only done about 500 miles in the car, and so it's always easy to sort of be swayed by initial impressions, and you know how wonderful it is in that sort of honeymoon period. So I want to leave it a bit longer until I do a proper review, but certainly the initial impressions are very, very good. I mean, electric cars, people have range anxiety, etc., and that's a fair point, and one of the reasons, to be fair, why we bought the long range version of the car. Well, that and the fact the 0 to 60 is, or 0 to 100 kilometers an hour is 4.4 seconds, which is enough to put a smile on anybody's face. But the range that the car has is given as 360 miles, but you won't do that, I'm sure. And of course you get access to the supercharger network. Give you an idea of the range, we're currently showing 43% battery charge, and on the energy graph it's showing that I've got a predicted range of 138 miles based on the last 30 miles of use. So it's not too bad, really. I mean, that's a good couple of hours driving, and we tend to drive and stop every couple of hours. Slightly more painful has been the charging up in the Dumfries and Galloway area, where there are plenty of chargers, most of which we found are broken, as in the two in Whithorn, and when we went over to Stranraer, we did manage to successfully charge. In one of the car parks there are 4 electric car charging points. 3 of them had internal combustion engine cars parked at them, which they shouldn't do because it's clearly marked they shouldn't, and the other one was broken, so that was a bit of a bummer. But you know, nevertheless, we did charge up, and we didn't spend any more time at Stranraer than we would have done if we hadn't been charging. And I think that's the secret, really, with electric car charging, is you make it fit around you. So we were going to Stranraer anyway to go shopping, so we just plugged it in while we did the shopping. But I mean, let's just slow right down. There's nobody about. I mean, we slow down to 17, 15. Let's just run along at 10 miles an hour if we can. 10 miles an hour, 10, right, and put my foot down. I mean, look at this. I mean, the way that's just going, it's pretty phenomenal. It's got one pedal driving, so you just take your foot off the throttle and it sort of slows down. I mean, this is one interesting thing, is it does consume a lot more power if you're hammering it like that. But you know, are you ever going to get bored of that sort of acceleration? Yeah, you probably are. But right now, it's still a lot of fun. So here we have the Model 3 from the outside. I mean, you'd have all seen a Model 3 before, I'm sure. We went for the standard white paintwork because that then meant I could get these rather nice 19-inch wheels on it, as opposed to the standard 18-inch with the aero covers, which I don't particularly find that attractive. People do kind of say that the ride might not be quite as good in the 19s, but to be honest, it's perfectly good for my requirements. So that's all good. When we picked the Tesla up, of course, people comment and moan about panel gaps and things like that. We found no issues at all. This one, being the 2021 version, has now got the things blacked out here and around these lines here, and the door handles, and I think it does look a lot better. More importantly than that, it's got a heat pump fitted to it, so in the winter the range would not be as compromised by bad weather. Overall, I think it's quite a nice looking car, a little bit anonymous, and I kind of quite like that. I mean, the boot is enormous, so looking into the boot, it is quite enormous. Goes back a long way. Bad gimbal work, but it's all good. But yeah, I mean, overall, very pleased with it. I like the glass roof. It's got this full glass roof on it. Goes right across everything. Covered in bird muck because we're staying by the coast at the moment. So yeah, we'd have all seen the Model 3 many times before, I'm sure. So there's not a lot of point in talking that much about it still. I will do a full review on the car once we're through the honeymoon period. But in the meantime, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Give it a thumbs up if you did. Subscribe please, it would be very helpful to me. It doesn't cost you anything. Don't make any money out of the channel, and neither do I actually want to. But I just like making the films. So thank you very much for watching, as I say, and see you in a future video, which is probably going to be, actually I don't know what it's going to be. It may be a 1 year review of Raymond, it may be a Kingham review, it may be, I do need to do a full review on ASBO the Abarth, so maybe that, who knows. Keep tuned, and I'll see you in a future video. Bye!